Um, so how did we come to this, to setting up Black Europeans? Really, we really have an issue here as a Black EU citizen, where we see European Commission and anyone, any official talking about unity in diversity. But as we are concerned, a Black European, when an EU citizen, EU official are talking about diversity, EU structure, when you look at all the people who are in charge of all the EU or most of the EU institution, including any institution dealing with discrimination, everybody's white. So it's really difficult to talk about diversity when the diverse group, which is Black, brown, European, are not really included. So a group of white European with Black European excluded, for me, that's not diversity. At least it's not diversity as I see it, or it's white diversity, because it's just among white people. And this, we cannot tackle racism like this because our point of view are not taken into account. In the UK, I've been in the UK for over 16 years now, and I have been through a lot of issues. About 2009, when I was in France, I spent about 21, 22 years in France. So the issue I'm going through here already went through this issue back in France. In 2009 in the UK, I went through the same thing in France. When I went to get my passport, it was about, you are French, you're gonna be too excited because you're only French on paper. So um, a French citizen or British or Irish or whatever you call it on paper. So we are not fully in the UK. When I was to the UK, I had a problem with my passport. So restaurants will also at you as if, your passport is fake, because it's really difficult to believe that a Black person can be a European citizen. So I have, so all the data you see here, I'm not going to go through all the data, but it's simply to show you that I've been this issue for a very, very, very long. And so yeah, so the way we see EU structure as it stands now under the EU motto, uniting in diversity, we just see here it's diversity in among white people, and we are here, Black EU citizen. We are not really included as part of this EU institution or EU citizen framework, or whatever you want to call it. So really, that's uh, the vision, or not vision, but I would say the comment made by the EU foreign official about this garden uh, versus the jungle. So that's exactly the way we see EU official seeing us. But I'm not saying that it's all I'm not talking about EU citizen, but I'm saying that's the EU institution. So that's the reason why I brought a few EU citizens together and to set up Black European. So we are from different countries and we have different skill set. We have different profession. And one of the things that would really annoy me been annoying me for the last few years is when we talk about EU citizens. I've been onto many platforms where I've been hearing that there are no EU citizens out there who are activists or blah blah blah. All this kind of thing was really really annoying, and for me, it was kind of I saw this as a way, as a kind of a discrimination, really, because whether you are white EU citizen or Black EU citizen, we are all the same. We should all be the same. But there is this idea that we Black EU citizens cannot be part of any forum because we can't speak well or things like that. So the level of discrimination is really there. So that's the reason why we set up Black European. So we have our mission really is to create a safe environment for Black European to thrive. And our mission is to root out systemic racism. So we have a few objectives in terms of our what we want to do in this country for each citizen. We want to provide free legal advice, information, which currently is available, but when we have these complex cases, it's really difficult for us to be able to find lawyers who can support us. But as of now, we can't provide any legal advice because we don't have the fund or anything, but that's what we want to do. So in terms of capacity building, we want to be able to develop really a capacity and those who are affected to be able to understand with the withdrawal agreement and for them to better understand their right and the challenges that are going through. And we also want to be able to engage on different platforms, which currently is not available for us or for many people, because I'm always the usual suspect going around, and many other Black EU citizens are not aware of the platform or cannot join this kind of platform. So it's a little bit frustrating. So Black Europeans try to provide this kind of platform for EU citizens of color to access, to be able to share their experiences.
So a couple of the changes that we've sort of listed out that need to take place to be able to unite in diversity would be the implementation of the EU Anti-Racism Action Plan. So the ideas that was listed in this plan would be ideal to obviously create the platform that Achi was talking about for Black EU citizens. And then, of course, the establishment of an independent complaint mechanism. So an independent area for people to, once again, creating that platform in line with the Article 227 of the Treaty on the Functioning of the European Union. So that's listed on the slide. And then another key idea that would help creating furthermore a further platform would be the appointment of a UK EU lead. So an ambassador on race and discrimination, someone that has either experienced this and someone that people can relate to, where people can feel comfortable to be able to report back on the experience of Black European and EU citizens in European countries. And then, of course, linking once again back to what Achi said, the facilitating of the formation of a safe place and a safe platform for Black Europeans to be able to tell their stories and the discrimination that they've experienced in European countries.